I'd like to spend a few minutes and talk about a perspective titled Credit Never Happened. In a previous perspective, we talked about a project challenge where the situation was one faced with managing a project for which the completion date was later than the defined deadline for the project and how you might deal with that. This is a slightly different perspective on the same theme, and it's taken from a paper by Repenning and Sterman from MIT entitled "Nobody Ever Gets Credit for Fixing Problems That Never Happened." You can probably imagine what that implies. For this particular situation, we're looking at a performance gap where there's a difference between the actual performance and desired performance. And in response to this, there's a couple of alternatives. One is the organization can choose to create pressure to do work and spend more time working to actually add to the performance to close the performance gap. That's one option. The other option is they can use that performance gap as an impetus to improve their capability to create work and spend time improving, which actually improves their capability and therefore their performance, and that will go ahead and close the performance gap. Now, there are implications of each of those, so that if they actually choose to use it as pressure to do work, it actually detracts from the time spent on improvement, and over time, if that goes on for any lengthy period of time, their capability is likely to erode and actually reduce their performance over time. And if they choose to do pressure to do work and choose to do shortcuts, you can do shortcuts using time removed from improvement and add it to time spent working and actually improve the performance. But that is a short-term fix, which usually doesn't last for very long. So you end up with several relationships that one should take into account, and they have different advantages and disadvantages, and we'll get to those in a few minutes as I go through and demonstrate how the implications of these relationships with an actual simulation model. So this is an introduction to a situation where there is a performance gap with a couple of alternatives as to how to address that performance gap. And I'll see you in another video shortly. This is actually part of the Credit Never Happened, and which contains the qualitative model, the quantitative model, and a link to the article by Repenning and Sterman. So, and if you're not currently following this particular project, you can go ahead and drop by systemswiki.org for directions on how to subscribe to this project. See you in another video shortly. Bye.